G'day, it's Denodon here, and welcome back to day 3 of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Today, another small one featuring just a few smaller manufacturers. You have Grey Cat Industrial, Kruger Intergalactic, Consolidated Outland, and then Tumbril Land Systems. So they're all fairly small manufacturers, so this will not take very long. We'll start off with the Grey Cat, which is basically just a little two-seat golf buggy. Originally, it was added to the game for when we had large hangars. We don't really have those anymore, but this still persists. It's an interesting little vehicle though, and because it's so small, it can actually fit into quite a few ships. And it's fun to drive, just watch out for them blowing up on you. Kruger Intergalactic only has 2 ships currently available. You have the P-72 Archimedes here, which is a luxury, I suppose, snub fighter that comes with the Phoenix, as I mentioned yesterday. Now, it flies quite nicely, and it has this fuel scoop in the center. Only small armament, which is apparently floating there, which is amusing, because the wings fold. But yes, it's not a bad flying ship. And right next to it, you have the P-52 Merlin. This is the one that the constellation Andromeda comes with, and the Aquila. Now this is, well, it's a fighter based on exactly the same chassis, but instead of the fuel scoop, it has a Gatling gun in the middle. You can't really see it there, but believe me, it's there. But yes, it has a Gatling gun there, which means it sacrifices its ability to replenish its boost fuel, and in exchange gets a much more powerful weapon. So it makes an interesting fighter. Both of these don't have quantum drives though, so you can't really travel very far with them. Across the hall, you have the mini Tumbril Cyclones. Now, I can't really name all of these in one go, there's just so many of them. However, you have the tracker sort of exploration model here that has this little scanning area at the back, I suppose. You have the one with the weapons here, the AAE, I believe it's called. Whoops, that didn't work, but yes, this is the one that's got some guns and missiles to shoot down other ships. You have the regular model, I believe this is the regular model, if it'll let me go through. Yes, that just has cargo storage, so you can just carry some cargo with you. And this one here is the racing model. So this model is the one that, yes, is a little bit quicker, and I believe sacrifices a lot of stuff for that. But I can't say, I don't really know a lot about the Cyclones. And then the last variant is this one here, which is basically the Warthog analog. As you can see, it's got a minigun on the back, and you access the turret through the rear. See, there's the stand there. So, they're all interesting vehicles. They're probably the fastest ground vehicle that isn't a hover bike. However, you do have to keep in mind that because they're wheeled, you tend to hit the many boulders and rocks that are strewn across the planet's surfaces. Right at the back, you have the many variants of the Mustang. This is the alternative starter to the Aurora. Perhaps not as useful, but it does look kinda cool if you ask me, especially after it was remodeled. You have the Alpha here. This is the base model. So this is the one most people will be familiar with, as it just doesn't have much in particular going for it, but it's an interesting ship. Oh, my controller keeps dying for some reason. But it does carry cargo in the back here, so you've got this little ramp. I don't believe it works at the moment. Oh, actually no, it says it does. But yes, there you go, you can open that and there's your cargo boxes. At the moment it's just a static thing. In future this will be the box you replace. The exact same style boxes that will fit in the Aurora. Next up, you have the Mustang Delta. This is the variant that has, or is the focus on combat, and has those unguided rocket pods that you can see right on the top of the wing there. Now, they're an interesting concept. I think this is the only ship that has them right now. Not sure how effective they actually are, but this is probably going to be slightly better at combat than an Aurora. So you do have that. At the back left, you have the Mustang Beta. This is the exploration version of the Mustang. It has a little cabin in the interior. It doesn't have any cargo capacity as a result, but it is also the only Mustang variant that actually has a bed. So if you want to be able to log out in Star Citizen and you don't have an Aurora as your starter ship, you would want to have at least one of these to be able to save. Now, that's maybe a good or a bad thing. Again, that's up to you and how you would want to play the game. Personally, I would probably recommend this one over the Alpha just because of that bed. However, you do lose your ability to carry cargo as a result, so it's not exactly ideal. Finally, we have the Mustang Gamma. This is the racing variant of the Mustang series. As you can see, it trades off its firepower, it has less guns, it doesn't have that chin turret, but it is supposed to have extra engines, as you can see here, at least in the tail there, which makes it a lot quicker than the other variants. It also accelerates quicker too. No, I don't want the contract, go away. But yeah, it's an interesting flying one. Again, not sure if you'd want to actually use it, but it's not bad. Definitely one I would save for getting in-game though. I don't think I would be getting one of these as a pledge. It's a fun ship to fly, but it is, like the other Mustangs, quite limited in actual utility. So that's it for day 3. Quite the limited showing, even smaller than the previous day. However, I suppose it is focusing on some of the small manufacturers that don't actually produce a lot. However, there are a few things missing. Tumbril makes the Nova tank, for example, and the Ranger motorcycles, neither of which are of course available in-game yet. And then Consolidated Outland, aside from making the Mustang, also makes the absolutely gigantic Pioneer base building ship. That, however, also isn't in-game yet, and I don't believe is even on the roadmap yet, so it is quite some time away. However, that's pretty much it. So yeah, what do you think of today? Again, quiet one, like I said. Until next time though, I'm Denodon, this is Star Citizen, and as we watch this guy race around the Tumbril Cyclones, safe landings.